during the stage of dating, there should be a place for some play, for flirt, for having fun, you know, something very light and something where you enjoy the process. If you choose a woman just according to your list of criteria, most probably you will never choose. Sometimes you can meet just interesting people to talk with, just friends who can become your friends, even if not wife. So if you didn't feel too much sparkle of passion on the first date, don't put this lady like inappropriate for you. Give yourself a chance. Hello my dears, and today we talk about how to deal with disappointment after dating and why we burn out from dates. First of all, I want to pay your attention to the facts why these dates can make you disappointed. We don't discuss the issue when you met the woman who you absolutely didn't like. For example, she did something very strange or very disgusting, or she was looking like someone you didn't expect on your date. We don't discuss these cases. Of course, in these cases it's obvious why you feel disappointed, but I rather would like to discuss with you the factors depending only on you, and the case when you go date by date and you never feel happy. For example, you already had 10-20 days lately and you don't like it, you feel burnout, and you think there is something wrong, or maybe you blame that all the women you met they are wrong. So let's discuss something that is in your area of responsibility. First of all, why it can happen, why you feel burnout. The first reason is you being not internally ready for even dating and also for relationships. When maybe you hear from your friends or from your mother or from your family that you should date and you must find someone for life, and you do it not because you really want it deeply in your heart and not because you have a natural wish to do it, but because someone told or because some social ruling and like this. So these 2 points include connected. First of all, you are not internally ready for new relationships. Maybe you still have the pain from previous relationships and you simply need a pause in relationships, just being alone and enjoying your life alone. It is also a very natural period of time and it should be in your life for sure. And the second point, when you are said that you must do it and you do it not having a real wish to do it. The third reason can be because you hold things too seriously and you are going to each date like exactly to watching if she is very good for all of your future life. In this case, you know, during the stage of dating, there should be a place for some play, for flirt, for having fun, you know, something very light and something where you enjoy the process. So if you go to each date and you have set of parameters, criteria, which you want to use for choosing your wife, and you take each date very seriously, and of course if you choose a woman just according to your list of criteria, most probably you will never choose. So don't take it too seriously, just try to enjoy it. And one more reason that you don't have enjoyment of the process, you just do because you must, you take it too seriously. But please remember that the stage of dating, it's interesting, it's very adventurous itself, because even the search of the right partner, I think that it's very useful. You are learning many things from it, and for example, when you met many girls, you already know better whom exactly you want, which traits you want to see here and what you want to avoid. So it's useful phase, and try to enjoy it to the fullest. Sometimes you can meet just interesting people to talk with, just friends who can become your friends, even if not wife, and so on. So you become more sociable, you talk with people, you discuss interesting topics, you visit nice places together. This enjoyment, try to feel it, and if you don't feel it like that, better not to go. Maybe you still need to go. Or in some cases, for example, if you're already alone for a long time, more than 1 year, for example, maybe you can visit a relationship coach or specialist to talk more about your situation. Sometimes psychological trauma that happened to you recently or in some of your past, it can influence, and in these cases it's better to work with professional in this field to overcome it. Also, the reason why you get burnout, it's going to each date, like to job interview, or like doing interview for some person who's searching for a job. We have even a joke here that with the age, as you get older, all the dates become look like job interviews. It shouldn't be your case for sure, because not only you feel it, but the lady will feel it, and it will be not so good date, and she will probably have bad impressions after it and after you. So when you go to a date, don't have too many expectations. Just remember about enjoyment of the process, about flirt, about being funny, interesting, and take it easy. Just relax. Like, again, when you feel stressed out or there is too much tension, the date is not going to be so successful. And also, when you go to a date and for example you had several dates already, try to be focused, to stay focused on positive sides of what happened, because where we put accents, the more of it we have in our life. So if in each date you will find weak points, bad things, you will have more in your life of it. If you try to develop gratitude for everything that happened, of course, if it wasn't a disaster date, I am not talking about it. Just if you met a woman but you don't feel strong attraction, for example, but you had quite a nice conversation with her, you had a nice time, so feel gratefulness for this, gratitude, and try to notice good moments. Moreover, what I notice during my work, in 20s, maybe in early 30s, we are driven a lot by our emotions, by the love from the first sight, and so on. The older you get, the more things change, and with the time, your relationships can start just from a usual friendship. They can become calm, relationships can become calm without too much passion in the beginning, but with the time they develop from friendship into something bigger. So even if you didn't feel chemistry on the first date, but you generally you like the person, you like the woman, give you and her, yourself and her, a second chance, meet several times more, and maybe there will be something very precious in your life from this meeting. Maybe you will develop like a couple in some time. So, as I heard an interesting sentence recently, and I would like to share it with you, and I always keep it in my mind when I think about life, about relationships, when I have it in my life. You should celebrate life itself each day, and I think it's a very good advice for the whole life, for all fields of life, and it's also about dating. So while you are single, you have many advantages too in life. While you are dating, you are getting also many advantages, many good sides, many good things happen in your life, and you just try to enjoy it. I notice it even with women clients who are applying to us. There are different women, and some of them, they come to us, they're very persistent. They want to get married exactly during this year. They want to get serious men as soon as possible, and they're calling to us, often writing, getting angry if we don't have suggestions for them, appropriate men. And I noticed these women, in fact, they don't get married so quickly because there is, in their life, there is much tension, and this strong desire to get married soon, to have children, and probably it frightens men too. And the same is about men. Even I don't hide it, and I always discuss it with my clients. Even when we use matchmaking agency, matchmaking surveys, we can't guarantee you chemistry and quick marriage. Yeah, we have a quality men and quality women nowadays. All are validated, documents are checked, and we hold personal interviews with each of our clients. So we help you to meet. But then the result and development of relationships depend only on you and on the woman. So disappointment can happen even after a date in matchmaking agency, and it's important to remember what meaning you give to the word of disappointment. If we talk about just absence of sparkle on the first meeting, it's one story. If we talk about disaster date where some strange bad things happen, it's a different story. So don't be strict when you make conclusions. If you didn't feel too much sparkle or passion on the first date, don't put this lady like inappropriate for you. Give yourself a chance, meet again, and probably in time you will feel it. So you see, if we talk about your area of responsibility in this question, here much depends on how you perceive the process of dating. So I have quite many clients, men, who are telling they are using our service just one of the ways how to find their love. They are relaxed, they are happy themselves just because they live just in life, and they are positive thinking, and they are enjoying the process, and they more often build a couple, build relationships than those who want guarantees from us. Actually, I try not to work with men who require marriage because it's impossible, and I say it from the very beginning. The same is concerning about guarantees for the future. Some men ask me, please guarantee that this woman won't leave me, that I will get married, that we will have children, that she will not bring any problems into my life in the future. Of course, these are all the cases where we can't work with a man, and again there is much tension in this request. There is much of anxiety, and when the person is feeling like this, it's not the best way, it's not the best time to search for a sweetheart, for sure. So when you feel happy, satisfied with your life, when you feel you have a place in your heart and in your life for the other person, and you want to share some things, some positive sides and bad sides maybe of your life with a woman, then you should start dating. So there will be less of disappointment, or disappointment will never happen at all. So my dears, I hope this was useful for you, and I wait for your comments, for your like, for your subscription, and see you soon. Goodbye.